Class 12th, Subject Physics, 14th chapter, Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. From the chapter, let us see numericals from exercise. Numericals from exercise. The numerical number 14 is given as the de Broglie wavelengths associated with an electron and a proton are same. What will be the ratio of their momenta and their kinetic energies? And therefore, in this numerical, the given data is de Broglie wavelength lambda for electron is equal to de Broglie wavelength lambda for proton, that is lambda electron is equal to lambda proton, or in short lambda E equal to lambda P. And then we have to find out the ratio of their momentum, that is linear momentum, that is P electron to P proton. Momentum of electron upon momentum of proton, that ratio we will have to find out. Second ratio is the kinetic energies of electron and proton, that is the ratio of kinetic energy of electron to the kinetic energy of proton. That ratio we will have to find secondly. And therefore we know the relation for the de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by p. Therefore p will be equal to h by lambda. P is equal to h by lambda, and in this case h is Planck's constant, which is constant. Therefore momentum p will be inversely proportional to de Broglie wavelength, and therefore we can write Pa upon Pp, momentum of electron upon momentum of proton, will be equal to lambda p upon lambda e, lambda p upon lambda e, and therefore we know that lambda e, that is lambda for electron, is equal to lambda for proton. And therefore if you take ratio of p electron to p proton, it comes out to be 1. Therefore the ratio of their momentum will be equal to 1. Now let us find the ratio of their kinetic energies. For kinetic energy, we know the relation K is equal to half m v square. K is equal to half m v square. It will be written as half m square v square upon m, dividing this right side by m and multiplying it by m, we will get half m square v square upon m. But m square v square, that is equal to p square, and therefore we will get kinetic energy equal to half p square by m, half p square by m. And therefore if you take the ratio of kinetic energy of electron to kinetic energy of proton, then it will be equal to mp upon me, mp upon me, since momenta are the same, and therefore p square term will be left, and therefore only the kinetic energy will be inversely proportional to mass, and therefore we will get this ratio Ke electron upon Ke proton will be equal to mp upon me, that is mass of proton upon mass of electron, since momentum p is the same. But we have the relation between mass of proton and mass of electron as mp is equal to 1836 me. Mass of proton is equal to 1836 times mass of electron, and therefore we will get kinetic energy of electron upon kinetic energy of proton. That ratio comes out to be 1836 because mp upon me will be equal to 1836. So this will be the ratio of their kinetic energies, that is mp upon me comes out to be 1836. Therefore ratio of their kinetic energies is equal to 1836. Now let us see next numerical, that is numerical number 15, which is given as two particles have the same de Broglie wavelength and one is moving 4 times as fast as the other. If the slower particle is an alpha particle, what are the possibilities for the other particle? That means what will be the nature, which will be the actually that second particle that we will have to find out. For that purpose we are given lambda 1 equal to lambda 2. The wavelengths for both these particles are the same. Then the relation between their speeds is given, that is phi1 is equal to 4 times phi2. Phi1 is equal to 4 times phi2, and we have to find out which will be the other particles. So what are the other particles that we will have to find out? So we know the expression for de Broglie wavelength, that is lambda is equal to h by p, and therefore as lambda is equal to h by p, which is equal to h upon m phi. Therefore, we can write lambda 1 equal to h upon m1 phi 1, lambda 1 equal to h upon m1 phi 1, and lambda 2 equal to h upon m2 phi 2. Lambda 2 equal to h upon m2 phi 2. Then here it is given that lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2. So but lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2. So as lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2, then h by m1 v1 must be equal to h by m2 v2. That is m1 v1 must be equal to m2 v2. So m1 v1 equal to m2 v2. Therefore m1, that is mass of first particle, will be equal to m2 into phi2 by phi1. m2 into phi2 by phi1, that is equal to m2 into 1 by 4. As phi1 is equal to 4 v2, therefore phi1 by phi2, phi1 by v2 is equal to 4, or phi2 by phi1 will be equal to 1 by 4, and therefore here it is phi2 by phi1, that is 1 by 4, which comes out to be m2 by 4. That means m1 is equal to m2 by 4, or m2 will be equal to 4 m1, and therefore as particle 2 is alpha particle, so here relation is m1 is equal to m2 by 4, or m2 is equal to 4 times m1, and therefore as particle 2 is alpha particle, that means its mass will be 4 times mass of first particle, and hence particle 1 may be a proton or neutron, since mass of the alpha particle will be 4 times of that of proton or neutron, and therefore the first particle will be either proton or neutron. Now let us see next numerical, that is numerical number 16, which is given as what is the speed of proton having de Broglie wavelength of 0.08 angstrom unit. So lambda for proton is given, that is de Broglie wavelength is given, lambda is equal to 0.08 angstrom unit, which will be written as 0.08 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter, which comes out to be 8 into 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Then H is Planck's constant, that is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Then mass of proton is 1.672 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram, and we have to find out the speed phi. We know that de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by p, that is equal to h upon m phi. H upon m phi. Therefore from this relation phi will be equal to h upon m lambda. Phi will be equal to h upon m lambda. Putting the values, we will get 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34, 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 upon 1.672 into 10 raised to minus 27 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 12. 1.672 into 10 raised to minus 27 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 12. Then simplifying it, we will get phi is equal to 4.957 into 10 raised to 4 meter per second. 4.957 into 10 raised to 4 meter per second. So this will be the required speed of proton. Then we will go for next numerical, that is numerical number 17, which is given as In nuclear reactors, the neutrons travel with energies of 5 into 10 raised to minus 21 joule. Find their speed and wavelength. And therefore, for this numerical, the given data is kinetic energy is equal to 5 into 10 raised to minus 21 joule. Then mass of neutron will be 1.675 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram. H Planck's constant is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. We have to find speed as well as wavelength. Now we know the relation for kinetic energy, that is Ke is equal to half mv square. Ke is equal to half mv square, and which is given as 5 into 10 raised to minus 21 joule. That kinetic energy is given. And therefore from this relation, speed phi will be written as phi is equal to square root of 2 Ke upon m, square root of 2 Ke upon m, because phi square will be equal to 2 Ke upon m, and therefore phi will be equal to square root of 2 Ke upon m. That will be equal to 2 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 21 upon 1.675 into 10 raised to minus 27. If we find out the square root of this ratio, it comes out to be 2.443 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second. 2.443 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second, which is the required speed. Now lambda is equal to h upon mv, that is de Broglie wavelength. Lambda is equal to h upon mv. Putting the values, we will get 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 divided by 1.675 into 10 raised to minus 27 into 2.443 into 10 raised to 3. And find, if we simplify this, then de Broglie wavelength we will find as lambda is equal to 1.620 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. 1.620 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter, which is nothing but 1.620 angstrom unit. 1.620 angstrom unit, which is the required wavelength. And then we will go for next numerical, that is numerical number 18, which is stated as, numerical number 18 is stated as, find the ratio of the de Broglie wavelengths of an electron and a proton when both are moving with the A same speed, B same energy, and C same momentum. State which of the two will have the longer wavelength in each case. We have to state which one will having longer wavelength in 3 different cases. And therefore for this numerical, the given data is phi E is equal to phi P, that is speed of electron and proton are the same. Then kinetic energy of electron is equal to kinetic energy of proton for second case, and for third case Pe is equal to Pp, that is momentum of electron is equal to momentum of proton. So for these 3 different cases, we have to find out the relation between lambda E and lambda P, that is wavelength for electron and wavelength for proton. So let us consider the first case. So in this case, longer wavelength relation we will have to find out, and therefore first case, de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by p, which will be written as h by mv. H by p equal to h by mv, and therefore from this we can write, as h is constant, therefore lambda will be inversely proportional to m as well as phi, and therefore lambda E upon lambda P, that is wavelength for electron upon wavelength for proton, will be equal to mp upon me, mass of proton upon mass of electron, into phi p upon phi e, that is speed of proton upon speed of electron. But in this case we are having, but mp is equal to mass of proton is equal to 1836 times mass of electron me, and phi p is equal to phi e, that is given in the first case. Therefore, we have lambda e upon lambda p is equal to 1836, as it is only the ratio of mp upon me, since phi p is equal to phi e, and therefore phi p upon phi e will be equal to 1. Therefore, this will be the required ratio, and from this we can say that as lambda e will be equal to 1836 times lambda p. Therefore, we can say that the wavelength for electron is greater than wavelength for proton in the first case. Now let us go for second case. As lambda is equal to h by p, that is equal to h upon mv, which will be further written as h upon square root of 2m into kinetic energy Ke. So here h upon square root of 2m into kinetic energy in terms of kinetic energy. Therefore, we can write the ratio of lambda e upon lambda p. Lambda e upon lambda p will be equal to, as h is constant, then 2 will be constant, and therefore this lambda will be inversely proportional to square root of m as well as Ke. Therefore, we can write square root of mp into Kep upon me into Kee, mp into Kep upon me into Kee. But here Kep is equal to Ke. In the second case, kinetic energy for proton and electron is the same, and therefore lambda e upon lambda p will be equal to only square root of mp upon me, which comes out to be 1836. mp upon me, that is 1836, and whose square root is 42.85. So in this case we can say that lambda e is equal to 42.85 times lambda p, and therefore again lambda e will be greater than lambda p. Lambda e is greater than lambda p in the second case. And now we will go for third case. For third case, again wavelength lambda is equal to h by p, and therefore h is again constant, therefore lambda will be inversely proportional to p. Therefore, we can write lambda e upon lambda p will be equal to pp upon pe. Lambda e upon lambda p is equal to pp upon pe. But in this case, given that pp is equal to pe, for both proton and electron momentum is the same, and therefore we will get lambda e upon lambda p equal to 1. Lambda e upon lambda p equal to 1, that is lambda e will be equal to lambda p. Lambda e will be equal to lambda p. So in the third case, the wavelength for both proton and electron will be same.